What's up, guys? In this video, we are going to be going through how you can build an evergreen campaign inside of Clay. Firstly, what is an evergreen campaign? This is an always on campaign. You set it up once and it's going to run for you on autopilot in the background without you ever needing to lift a finger. So let's jump into it. Now, to set these up, you always need to start with a trigger. A trigger is the event that sends new leads to your campaign, and it can be any number of different things. In this particular example, we are using the trigger of an individual starting in a new role. Now, we are using a tool called Loan Scale to capture this trigger. I'm going to jump into Loan Scale here. And this is a campaign I'm running for Stack Optimizer's own services. So in this case, the market mover or the individual that we're tracking who's moved jobs is an SDR. And that way we're able to find companies that have just hired a new SDR. So we set up workflow here in Loan Scale. I'm going to quickly show you what I have here. Essentially, we are tracking any new SDR that has started at a new company in these regions and has been in their job for 1 month or less. Loan Scale, by the way, if you're not familiar, is a tool that we can use to track for triggers, specifically for market movers and for job ads. In this case, we're focusing on market movers. Now, once I've outlined my criteria here, I can then just drop in the webhook URL for the Clay table that I want to send these leads to. That table looks something like this. And in order to set this up, it's very simple. We just create a Clay table, select webhook as the source, and then we jump into this button here, which says webhook, and we just copy this URL here, which is the webhook, and paste it into this integration box here in Loan Scale. This is now basically going to connect these two tools, and anytime a new lead is identified that fits my criteria, it's going to just send that lead to this Clay table automatically. I've set this workflow up to run on a schedule at least once a day. So anytime new records fit that criteria within the past 24 hours, they're all going to get pushed to my Clay table. So now jumping back to the Clay table to walk through the rest of the workflow. So when we pull through these leads via the webhook in Clay, we're going to get a few bits of information from Loan Scale. We're going to get the name of the new hire SDR, which we've outputted in this column here, their job title, the company that they work for, the company website, the industry location, and a few other bits. Now, the first thing we want to do is we want to find the decision makers at the companies that these people have been hired at. We can't reach out to the SDRs. They're not useful for us. We want to reach out to their bosses or other adjacent decision makers. So the way we do this in Clay is we run a find contacts at company enrichment. It's pretty simple. You can click add enrichment, search for find contacts at company, select it, and then you're going to have two options to either save results in this table or save results in new table. I always opt to save these results in a new table. It just keeps it cleaner. And also when we are running a people search against an initial company search, there's very likely multiple personas at each of these companies that we could reach out to. And so it's just easier to visualize all of them from a new table. So we're running two find contacts at company searches here because I'm building two different campaigns for different personas. One of the personas is a founder and CEO persona. The other is a sales leadership persona. So in my founders people search here, we are looking for CEOs, founders, and managing directors. And we are excluding the following keywords from the job titles: CTO, product, technical, engineering, CFO, HR people, owner, and CISO. This is then going to find all of the individuals that fit that criteria from these companies, the company domains in our list, and output them to this new table here that I've titled founders and CEOs. Within this table, we have the names of the leads in the first column. We can then click in the company table data column to basically pull through any additional columns from our previous table into the new table if we need to use them for any reason. The first thing though I'm doing here is I just want to normalize the company name. So we are running a normalize company name enrichment. This is a native Clay enrichment. It doesn't cost you anything. And it's just going to make sure the names are nice and clean for when we add them to our copy. Next step, we are finding valid email addresses for our leads. We are running an email waterfall in the background. Those columns are hidden right now, but the output will go into this column here. And following this, we are then going to generate a series of personalization snippets that we're going to weave into our final template. So whenever we're doing this, the first thing we always want to do is generate a summary of the company that we will then reference to create those snippets. So in this column here, we're just using Clayagent to generate a comprehensive summary of what the company does, what their products and services are, who they sell to, et cetera, et cetera. And then we're going to reference that in this Claude enrichment here to generate our snippets. In this case, we are using 2 personalization snippets for each lead. The first one is basically a single sentence describing what the company does. The second one is a single job title, which is the most likely decision maker that the companies in our table sell to. And you'll see how we're going to layer in those 2 snippets into our final email. In the final column here, we're obviously pushing the lead data to our campaign Smart Lead. I'm going to head over to Smart Lead now, and we're going to see what the final template looks like. So it's going to read like this. Dear Saket, I'm Felix, and with my brother Penn, we built an AI GTM agency from scratch to 1 million AR in just over a year. Between the 2 of us, SDR to head of sales, companies like Confluent, Monzo, and Deliveroo. I spotted Brendan Sawyer just joined your team, and I wanted to reach out for one reason. I'd love for this to be the last SDR hire you need to make for the next 12 months. Not because you're not growing, but because with the right AI agents behind them, your team can grow further with less. My first SDR job was pure cold calling. I know how much time gets eaten by manual grunt work, finding leads, building lists, updating CRMs. Safe Security's SDR's time is best spent when they're actually on the phone with CISOs, enterprises seeking AI-powered cyber risk management. So we built Agent Force, agency service, not a SaaS, with a single vision, to offload every repetitive GTM task to AI agents so your reps can focus purely on conversations. Think of us as your outsourced AI agent team, gathering feedback from reps, building and implementing agents, and always keeping you at the forefront. If that sounds helpful, happy to show you some examples of the type of agents that could benefit your team. Cheers, Felix. P.S. A few companies we've implemented these systems for include MaxIQ and WriteSonic. Now, this template somewhat goes against the grain of cold email best practices. It's very long. It has an introductory sentence in the first line, but it does a few things very effectively. Firstly, it is packed with social proof. We have both mine and Penn's past work experience in the second line, and then a bunch of case studies in the PS line. And secondly, it weaves in the trigger in a very smooth and relevant way. What we don't want to do is just say the trigger almost randomly and then not connect it to our value proposition in any way. We want to make sure it is relevant to the prospect. So in this case, we're saying that, we noticed Brendan Sawyer has just joined the team as an SDR. And the reason why that is relevant is because we believe that you won't need to hire any more Brendan Sawyers in the next 12 months because we can help you deploy AI agents that's going to enable your reps to get more output, meaning you can continue to increase your results without needing to add headcount. Now, this is one of 8 different templates I'm running for this campaign. I just started this campaign today, so I don't have any data on how this is going to perform. So we will get back to you on that. But the purpose of this video was really to demonstrate the power of Evergreen campaigns. This is something I set up once, and it's going to continue to run for me on autopilot so long as new SDRs are joining company. If you want to learn how to build these systems yourself, you can sign up to our GTM Engineer course. And if you want us to set them up for you, you can book a call through my calendar link. Both links will be in the description of the video just below.